We are live from DJ J Nasty Studio, system in place. I don't know what episode number this is. It's actually been a while since we've probably like what 3 weeks or so.
It's been about like 3 weeks, I think so. The 20, like what was it, 20 before the 29th, right? I think we came in here.
Sometime.
But yeah, it's been a good bit. Little,
Yeah.
what's cracking?
Well, I kind of just want to get into a little bit but on our last episode. V had an incident, so we started off the episode kind of on a serious note. Since then, I have got both of us tasers and pepper sprays and, some sort of protection. If you didn't listen to the last episode, a little rundown. V was assaulted outside her salon over... If you guys are from Escondido, over like on 9th and Valley Parkway, West Valley Parkway.
Yeah.
And it was right before our studio sesh. So when she came in here, she was, kind of still going through the effects of it. She hadn't filed a police report, so we had her file a police report. And we kind of talked about the importance of safety, especially being women. So pretty much some guy put their hand in her car window, like through the window, with a knife, and pretty much had a knife to her throat at a stoplight. There was someone actually in front of her, so there was really no way she could go. And in that panic, obviously, you don't know what to do or like what's going on. So she just, once the light turned green, she just took off, went home, kind of tried to get through it, and ended up meeting us here a couple hours later. So I live near the salon, so on my way home I took the back road, and I was over like industrial Escondido area, kind of by the auto parkway and stuff, and I saw a guy that pretty much was wearing exactly what she described him to be, and to the T, like the hair. And so I called her right away, and I asked her to describe him to me.
Yeah.
And she described him to me. This guy was wearing glasses, and she said, he was wearing glasses and that his hair was kind of wavy. And she mentioned he was bald up at the top. This man was bald up at the top. He didn't look homeless. He was carrying a big backpack and was wearing cargo pants.
Yeah.
Black sweater. And so mind you, I have Caleb with me. I never have Caleb with me.
Oh,
this is like
God.
one of the times that he came to the studio. So I have him with me, and so I'm telling V like, yo, this is him. Like, I'm going to call the police.
Yeah.
So I called the police. I'm like riding around the block. I made like 3 or 4 rounds. Better. I made like 3 or 4 rounds around that neighborhood, or like the industrial area.
Was he still
too.
like around that area?
Yeah, so
What
it's
an
right
idiot.
down the
Oh
street.
my God.
Literally, it's like half a mile away.
I'm telling you, man. Like, to be a criminal, you have to have like some type of brain too. Fuck, like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, shit.
And this was already like 4 or 5 hours after, because the incident happened exactly at 7 p.m. We were here
till 9, 10?
No, V wasn't here till like 9. So we were here till 11.
Oh shit, that was true. That is true. Because
it was late already. Yeah,
we started
because
she called the cops. She got here and she started to explain to us like what happened.
Yeah.
And
because it had been 2 hours.
To be honest, dude, I would be like big ups to V, and V's not here because she's like out on a little trip today.
She's at Disneyland.
Yeah. Shout out to V and Edwin.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Ezekiel. So like, damn, that's fucked up. Like, that's crazy. Like, like how strong you have to be to like. When she was telling that story, I was like, how the fuck are you even here, girl?
Yeah.
Like, how are you not like locked in your house, like scared out of your mind? Like, you kidding me? Like, a knife to your fucking throat is not a joke. Like, that's not like I could never like see that like with the woman, like to see that shit. Like, damn, that shit's fucking insane.
Yeah. So, okay, so we're driving around the block, and I'm on the phone with the police.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, what had happened. My friend had called around 9 o'clock, reported an incident that happened at 7 o'clock. I told her where it was at. He was like, oh, okay, yeah. He remembered the call, but he just had to go look for the incident number because I didn't have an incident number.
Oh, okay.
So what happened was when V made the report, the police officer called her back and asked to speak to her or something, and V said, "Oh, I already spoke to someone," meaning she thought she had already filed the report, but she was supposed to talk to the police officer and explain it to him, and then they were gonna go look for the guy.
Okay.
So okay, when I call, they were like, oh, "Okay, well, your friend showed no interest in speaking to us. She said that she didn't want to talk to us about it." Like, actually, wait, take that back. The guy that was the operator that was taking my call, he put me in contact with a police officer. Like, the police officer called me, and he was like, "Oh, well, we can't just be arresting people out here. Like, were you there when it happened? Like, your friend showed no interest in talking to us." And so I got off the phone with them, and I told V to call and, just give the report again. And at this point, V calls me and she's crying. No, wait, hold on. Rewind. I'm driving around. Caleb is freaking out because he thinks something crazy is gonna happen, right? Because this is a criminal and we're calling the police, and it's like late at night, and so he's freaking out, and I'm like, "Caleb, it's fine. You're gonna be fine. I have a big car, not a big car, but my car will run someone over. I'll use my car as a weapon. Like, don't worry.
Best believe.
Don't worry, I got this." And so I'm pulling down the street, and I see a cop drive by, but it keeps going, and then I see another one like coming up, and they pull the man over. And so I'm on the phone with them, with like the dispatcher, and I'm like, "Yeah, they got the right guy. They got the right guy." And so I'm like driving again around the block because Caleb's freaking out, and so I have to drive away so he can calm down a little bit. But he's just, freaking out.
Yeah.
So I get a call from the police officer, and then that's when he asked me. He was like, were you there? We can't just be arresting people, and like kind of gave me an attitude. And so then I had V call, and then I just went home because Caleb was like freaking out. So I went home, and then V calls me, and she says that pretty much this man was wanted for something that had nothing to do with the incident that happened earlier with her, and that he was going to go to jail for a long time.
Wow. That's a trip, man. Holy shit. That night was trippy as fuck. And I couldn't believe that because we were like, we told her, like, "Come on, te tienes que llamar. You have to do something." Like, how are you going to, like, just let that person just, like, stay there and just, what if it goes to another person or kills somebody, actually does it? You know what I mean? And, and thank God we actually did tell her to, like, hey, like, motivate her to call the cops and put her in a report, because imagine that. You would have gone that same day and like in the afternoon to go look for it, and she didn't make the report. The cops have been like, "Well, what the fuck? It didn't happen to you. Why the fuck?" Like, kind of like the same way that the officer talked to you, because I mean, I guess you have no evidence. So it's kind of sucks.
I kind of want to contact that officer and be like,
"Yo,
maybe you should watch how you talk to me next time."
Because I know shit.
I'm out here picking up criminals for you. No, but for real, it was intense. And like, I honestly, like, when I got home, I couldn't believe that it happened. Like, it didn't hit me until like a couple of days later.
That you were like in that scene area of what you were doing. It's dangerous. It's especially like around that area. It's so dark and shit. Like, there's
and
just
I
a
kept
school.
Going around.
All the businesses are closed. You know what I mean? So it's just like things like that. I mean, sometimes we don't think about it too. Like, I think there's a lot of times when we put ourselves in danger, and then because we're thinking like not selfishly, but we're thinking about other people. But then that, that could bite us in the butt too one day.
I mean, I just feel like I have enough control of myself that I feel okay with putting myself in some sort of dangerous situations, because at the end of the day, I'm in a car. Like, I can just run this motherfucker over if he tries to do anything to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or what if he has like a photogenic memory and remembers that car?
I mean, I was hoping not, because I did do a couple.
You know what I mean?
turns.
So it's like things like that too. Like, I mean, we put ourselves in those types of dangers too. Like, it sucks. But I mean, like you said, it's people that are around us, and it's like family too. Like, I know, Edwin or wanted to, like, if even me, like as a man, like if somebody fucking puts a knife to my girl, my wife, my baby mama, whoever the fuck is around me, my mom, shit, fucking do that to my mom, I'm gonna best believe I'm gonna go fucking try to go look for you or do something, or you know what I mean, do as much as I can in my power, you know.
But do you see how the issue got solved without any violence?
Yeah,
we didn't even try.
And yeah,
it just happened.
But it sucks, like not every single time it can happen.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that's why it's. I mean, to be honest, I was like, V, damn, it's been this long that you haven't called. Like it's been like 2 hours. Like this happened. I thought she was coming right from, you know, like where she was at, coming out of her work, and she came straight here. But you know, I guess not. And I was just like, man, that's powerful. Like that's something to endure right there. Like that's one for the books right there, man. That's big pat on the back to fucking V for that, man.
That's why she's at the happiest place on earth right now.
That's some
she
mass
needs all the
huevos.
happiness
That's some massive
she can have.
Ovaries. Like that's savage. That's savage.
It's intense. Like
to you both. I think that's to you both. I think it shows you guys' character and you guys' like, you know, like love for each other, and that the fact that you guys are scared of fucking, you know, anything, you know.
Yeah. So we got tasers and shit. So just so you know,
have you seen those
fuck around and find out?
I saw this one little one that had a Hello Kitty. It was like a ring, but it's like a keychain for your thing, and like the Hello Kitty, like the ears are fucking pointy as fuck. So I thought that was pretty cute.
Yeah, I got her one of those keychains too that has that pointy thing on. It's a window breaker. Okay. But I don't know. You could poke someone's eye out with that though.
Well, yeah, but it's like, pero cuando te agarran así, like how the fuck are you, like how, even me, like how are you supposed to respond? You know, you're inside of a car. Yeah. You know, your like vulnerability is like, you know, it's just it's crazy. But I mean, that's why we have to always keep an eye on our surroundings too. Like, you know, having different, you know, staying. You know, I think one of the things I was talking about was like the fact that we're just like so in tune with our phone, like there's no time for ourselves. And then like a lot of the times we're in our car and like the stoplight starts. I know I do that shit. You know, I'm at the red light and I fucking automatically flip my phone open and it's just like, oh yeah, like get like 5 stories in of a fucking Instagram.
Is in our hands.
You know, so it's just like it sucks to like think about that. You know, like stay away from your surroundings.
You
like,
have to challenge yourself too. Well, me, anytime I have to take Caleb to the store with me. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm on edge right away. Like he needs to be in my sight all the time. Yeah. He doesn't go to an aisle by himself. No, he stays with me. And even if he like we're paying, and he'll like go on the little just look at the candy and stuff or whatever chips are right there. I'm like, no, I need to see you, dude. Like, yes. Like if you're gonna be out with me, I know you don't like to go out with me, but I need to see you.
He loves to go out with you.
No, he'd rather be home, honestly. But sometimes you have to take them, you know? Like I'm like, you're not staying here by yourself. What the hell?
Damn.
You're not of age yet.
No, yeah. One of the biggest things too, like I mean, even like you get lost like at the swap meet, or like I remember right here, like, you know, kids like, "Aquí está tu mamá," you know, like your kid's crying, you know. So it's just like things like that, you know, like in an open space, you know, you don't know who the hell's looking at or who's keeping an eye on you too. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's people that can be keeping an eye on whatever it is that you're doing, y en cuanto tú volteas para acá, ellos agarran al chamaco y se lo llevan.
Yeah.
And I think you've probably been seeing it around too. Like there was this video that went around that like the police, like, you know, like caught this guy like right before he took like this little kid into his house. Like he had him in the trunk and shit. You know what I mean? And like the cops pulled right up, right on time and shit. So it's just like shit like that is just like, I mean, there's people out there that will, you know, whatever it is, harvest organs, whether it's fucking, you know, kids' blood or just suffering, dude. Like suffering brings, you know, like so much joy to other people, you know. So it's just, there's different things.
Yeah.
There's sick people in the world that like, you know, that you wouldn't even understand or where they're coming from. But we have to definitely keep an eye out. And that's crazy because that day too was the day that weekend had happened, the shooting with Jaslyn too. So it was like a double whammy of like,
it was very intense.
Like, yeah, it was a mix of emotions. Like it's a trip. So I mean, thank God that guy was arrested and he's gonna fucking be in jail. And you know what I mean? And I think at the end of the day, he just got you brought him to justice. Like you, like
Yeah.
you know, he probably could have hurt somebody else. He probably was on a sick one. Maybe he just didn't find anybody else, and thank God he didn't, because maybe
So
that
he
next
was on
person.
the run. He had a warrant out for his arrest.
So that's what I'm saying. Like when you're out in a run, or you're hiding from people, or you're in the cops, like sometimes that stupid mentality comes in. You know,
Yeah,
like
I mean, honestly, like that's what got him caught up.
yeah, that's trippy. That's
Like he got away with it,
he's at Roman free.
you know?
But es desesperación también.
Yeah.
Desesperación. I think sometimes they're just like, maybe he wanted to get caught. What if that too? You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of the times it's like a lot of people that do crime all the time, and like they're used to the system, so they just go back into the system. They make any little petty thing, and they see how they can get away with it, and
Yeah.
they're back in again.
Yeah.
So it's just a record that they build too. But damn, fuck. Okay, man. But
Enough of that.
oh fuck.
Shake it off.
Shake it off, 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 shake it off. The owner of the company that I DJ for, my DJs, Mr. Earl Henry, he passed away this weekend. This Friday, I was able to pay my respects on Thursday night, and I was able to go and just say goodbye. But man, that's tough, man. I think this is like the second death close to me, and because of cancer. So it's just like it was an intense one, man. And
Yeah.
especially when you see like somebody that's such an ambitious person, people that you know are thriving, have family and stuff like that, man. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So I mean, like
Rest in peace.
if everybody can, say a prayer for their family, and we're gonna keep working and keep on doing our thing, but it's definitely a piece of that. It's a huge piece of that puzzle that is from that company that's gonna be missing. But man, it sucks. But we know that he's not suffering, and he's in a better place, and thank God for that. But
Yeah.
so
he's the guy that hired you.
yeah, so practically, like, he taught me like a little bit of everything that I know about weddings and shit. Like we were talking about everything what happens in the weddings, the structures,
Yeah.
like, before you get in, like the same shit that I explained to everybody, and they're like, what do you mean? Like all this shit carries on in a wedding? I'm like, yeah, you gotta have your first dance, your baile, your money dance, you got your bouquet toss, garter toss. So like it's part of that atmosphere, and I think the DJ community is gonna really miss him. Like a lot of people, and I think it's just one of those things with people that are kind-hearted, and like they're family based, friendship based, and then just willing to help out a lot of people.
He was the life of the party.
That's the life of the party. So RIP to the man, and we're not gonna forget you, and we keep on going with your legacy, though. That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
That's
But,
beautiful.
and this weekend I did 2 club gigs,
I
and
saw that. Were you at Coyote?
yeah, Coyotes on Saturday. That shit was
Nice.
lit.
Low key. Okay, I was in Oceanside, but I had been golfing with V and
Oh, yes.
and
I saw
Lindsay
that.
all
Oh,
day,
yes, I saw
and the
that.
boys. Oh my god, we only did like 4 holes. We were not so shit faced, but you're drinking, and then you gotta go pee, and then one of us loses the phone, and then the other one loses the phone, and by this time we're just super stoned. And we just decided to go eat steak and mashed potatoes and corn and green
Yes.
beans, bread and butter. Like,
But let's talk about how fucking sick it is to go to the fucking golf, because
I'm going again,
yes,
but sober.
yes. Oh no, come
I'm
on,
gonna
that's the best part.
I'm gonna have maybe some beers, but I was like shotgunning Trulies and a
Well,
whole
okay,
lot
so
of-
little backstory on the golfing thing. When I first started DJing, or I think I was still going to Orange Glen High School, so we used to do the golf fundraiser and shit. So my old boss, him and his sister do the whole shebang. It's an auction, so they would get me to DJ. I would arrive there at 7 in the fucking morning, start at 8. Fucking all these fucking like rich people, not rich people, but they're just like people with money,
Yeah.
golfers.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's some staff, but it's just like everybody from like the high school and parents and shit like that.
yeah.
So it's a tournament and shit. So they all fucking like everybody gets a golf cart, blah blah blah. We fucking everybody. It's 8 in the morning. It starts it off, pop it off. They have like Bloody Marys or fucking margarita. I don't know, the Jello shooters. Que no falten the fucking Jello shooters, dude. Fucking the lady, she would fucking bring a whole fucking cooler of Jello shooters and just get everybody fucked up. Just get them fucked up. Why? Because at the end we have the auction. They get fed. They get like tri-tip sandwiches,
Yeah.
fucking like, soda, more beer and all this shit. So, but at the end, they're having the auction. So what happens at the auction? They're fucking spending money, like throwing it. It's such a for good cause. It's for the high school. But I was just like, we would be livid that days. Like we would just get fucked up, and we'd just be driving because I would just get a golf cart. Like they just be like, oh, here. I'm like, I don't play golf, but I'll fucking follow all these fools and
Yeah.
shit. So I'm just following them, and then we're following the caddy girls and
Yeah.
shit. And they got the Jello shooters, and they got beers too, and they're just giving us beers, and we just fucking drink because it was like $2 beers and shit back in the day.
Yeah.
But I was just like, damn, like yeah, the golf thing is like, I think that a lot of people sleep on it. Like
Yeah.
it's fun, but it just sucks that you don't understand the game yet, because you're not
Yeah,
old.
there's a lot of things that are to it. I learned a lot this week, and I could say that.
So yeah, you guys go golfing one day, and I think they do a lot of that soccer golf thing.
Yeah.
Or whatever is it, frisbee golf or
Yeah,
whatever
that
is
too,
frisbee
both.
golf. Oh, so it's like so
Yeah.
like a lot of that shit is just cool. Like I never thought that those golf courses would let you do that shit, but it looks sick as fuck. I mean, like,
Dude,
come on, you take a top back, you fucking chill.
Yeah, a blunt.
Sheesh. Oh yeah, that's the one. That was the number one thing. We just go sit in the back, just chill, and just fucking watch all these fools play, and just smoke all day.
So that was my Saturday. Honestly, I kind of felt like I wanted to go out and do something en la noche, but I was done.
Tired.
By
It's
the
near the
time
sun
I hit the couch, I couldn't even get up. I didn't go to bed until
Dang.
I went to bed at 11, but I went to couch at 11, and then I went to bed at 3.
Dang. Okay,
Because
so
I was just out on the couch.
I did read a post that said how come you can never be as tired as you are on the couch that you are in your bed? Because when you lay down on your couch, you're like, fuck. I'm like, you just pass out. But then when you go to bed, you're just like, I get on my phone. I'm like, fuck, till 3 in the morning, just fucking just scrolling through. I'm like,
so
okay.
I was up early Sunday. I was up by 7, and then I just made breakfast, and I was supposed to go get tattooed at 1, and then I did go get tattooed.
Dude, that shit looks like it hurts, man.
Oh yeah, it
It's
did.
because I think it's más
It's
hueso que carne.
Oh,
Come
it
on.
was so painful.
Do you
If
drink when you're getting tattooed?
Last session, I was drinking Jameson, I think, and then this session I only had 1 shot of tequila of Don Julio, and then I took a THC pill, but it didn't hit me until the end of my session. So I took a couple breaks, but yeah, I can't say I took it like a champ because
Dude, that shit fucking hurt. I remember the first tattoos
painful.
I got. I was fucked up before I started, and I almost spelled my daughter's name wrong.
really.
Jenny came in, and she was like, "That's not how you spell it, you dummy." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And she was like, "That was so good, dude." I was like,
So what happened?
well, no, it was about to be on my arm. Like it was,
Oh.
how they put that blue ink and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So the guy had written it and shit, and then she was looking at it, and she's like, "That's not how you spell it." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And then everybody was like, "You fucking idiot! You about to tattoo your fucking daughter's name wrong." I was like, "God." I was like, "Thank God I came in here, you fucking idiot." I was like,
I'm sure you never heard the end of it. Oh,
that was
damn.
good. I can't believe that shit. But it's tattoo life, But that sucks that it would have been permanently, and then I would have just lived
Had
with
to
that.
or get it covered up, but
But then
But
I
it's
feel
big.
bad. It's a big
Yeah.
one. It has look at it. It has it says one love, and it
that's
has little
cute.
I need to add some more for Xander now. So
Yeah.
so I'm looking to get some tattoos pretty soon too. It's just like you said, it's a whole day thing. I gotta get fucked up during the day. So
Yeah, I was out by the end. I was done. It took it all from me. All the
Damn.
energy that I had, I was just.
So do you specifically have a tattoo artist that you go through, or do you have
Yeah.
just a
I
couple homies that?
mean, yes and no. I think the past for my most meaningful shit, I've always gone to Nico.
Okay.
Nico's been tattooing me since I was 18.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
So for 10 years, he's been tattooing me. Not that I have a lot of tattoos, but he's done
Then a lot of them.
most
Okay,
of
okay.
them. And then a couple of the homies, that started tattooing. I let them.
I
Tattoo
know,
me.
because at the shop, I grew up next to a tattoo shop, so I'd always see at age fucking 13, I fucking walked into the shop with my dad, with a fucking tattoo, like a stencil on the back of my fucking leg, right? Because the homie was like, here, oh yeah, I'll put this one, what you like? So I fucking stencils it out and he fucking places it. I walk into the back, into the shop with my dad. And I was like, pinche cabrón, quítate esa pendejada. A saber, fucking, I was like, live it. I was like, and that just made me want to get a tattoo more when I was 18.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Well, I got my first tattoo at 16.
oh, you're such a rebel,
I
see?
know. I was in high school still.
16, I got my tongue pierced. My mom saw it. She told my dad. My dad made me fucking take it off. After enduring the pain of having a fucking tongue piercing through the whole weekend, you know how fucking bad
was your
that
tongue
shit
fat?
hurt? Like, it was fat. Like, I couldn't move it. It felt like somebody fucking like beat the shit out of my tongue, and it was like bruised up. Like, my dad, it was funny because I still remember to this day, like, it was on a Friday night, and my dad was like, get some Jack in the Box. And I was so
like,
fucking,
no.
I was so hungry. Like, I was hungry as fuck, little, because
Your
I
dad
hadn't ate
never
all
buys
day.
you Jack in the Box?
No, because it was like, I hadn't ate all day. I got that piercing during the day.
En la casa.
And my dad's like, I'll get you a hamburger. So I got a
The
hamburger.
one time in his life that his son ever said if
Like,
he wanted
I'm
a burger.
I was in my room back here, and I was like this. I was like literally crying and fucking eating at the same time, little, because it hurts. I was like, I never realized how the fuck you use your tongue so much.
Yeah.
Like, your tongue fucking moves all your food around inside your shit. So I'm gonna fucking going off, and I'm like,
Yeah, well, when you swallow your tongue,
like it pushes it
It
back,
goes- yeah.
right? Like, so I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, that day, like, just fucking mesmerized. I was like, and that whole week, I remember I just drank fucking cold soda, cold Coke all fucking weekend. That's what helped me to stay alive, I think. But come Monday, yo de pendejo.
did you try to put it back in or no? You never did.
No, because my dad grabbed it and he fucking chucked it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't about to go endure that pain again. So I was like, fuck that. And I just let it close. I never fucking put.
Yeah, I always thought they looked cool, but I don't think it was ever my.
I think it was cool.
I mean, I'm
and
sure I
then-
could pull it off, but I feel like it just says too much.
It says a lot.
It says a
a lot. And a lot of people were like, damn, you ready to suck some good dick or what? I was like, oh, you guys are assholes. Like, that's the first thing, dude. Like, I was like,
Especially at that age.
At that age, everybody's fucking clowning. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you got a fucking tongue piercing? What do you do? I was like,
Oh my.
oh my God. Especially because you're doing it behind your parents. Like, how, like, that's like the fucking, like, the totalest best shit ever, too. Like, I mean, like, how, like, dangerous was it doing shit behind your parents' back then? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like, it was this naughtiness. It was
That's
this,
the
like,
rush.
the rebelness.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's what you have to fight as an adult. Unfortunately, you have to fight that feeling.
Because sometimes you do, you're like, fuck yeah, la verga, no. So,
Yeah,
So-
and it's like it feels good. It's like a rush.
that is true. And
But that's
especially
why-
when I do it
that's
in
why-
front of my parents now.
That's
'Cause
why
when
people cheat, because they get that
They get that, like,
like like I'm doing something wrong.
or like, what if I get caught?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because that's how I was with my fireworks this past 4th of July. Because
Well, you're telling me.
my parents were in here and they were out in the front, and then I would just run to the back and I would like shoot off a
They
couple.
were like, "Ay, se ven bien cerquitas."
No, they were loud as fuck.
Yeah, they're
Good
so
Lord.
loud.
I was just like, I was like, oh shit. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna do
they're
this.
loud as fuck.
And then I would come out to the front, and mind you, I was fucked up. Like,
And
I was
they
pretty
stink.
fucked up.
It smells like
Yeah,
fucking culo. Like I farted and I closed the windows and
And that shit just let it out. So I was just like, we were at the beach, and then we came back, and I started making carne asada. I started drinking fucking what was it called? The fucking, that's that vodka that we have. The fucking
the Trust Me vodka.
yeah, Trust Me vodka. And
This is not a paid ad.
This is not a paid ad, but I started drinking that shit, and like, yeah, I was on a good one. And I would go outside, and my neighbors were outside. They're like, "Don't you say it, the fireworks?" And I was like, "No." And then Kenny's like, "Then you would leave and disappear, and then you just hear like 4 more go off." I was like, "Hell yeah, that's how you do it." Oh, my neighbor gave me a little bunch too, like those little rocket ones.
The sparkler.
Yeah, like
rocket
the little
ones,
sparkler
yeah.
rockets, but it wasn't the same.
No.
It's an adrenaline.
Dude, those things are crazy.
But it's just, they're fucking dangerous. Once I
was
started
like,
seeing all those videos of
I
everybody
need
getting
all
their
of those
shit.
out of my house ASAP.
Dude,
like,
how the
I don't
fuck?
want these.
But, but they're fun though. I mean, I remember in Mexico we used to fuck shit up with those, man. In Mexico, we used
In
to just buy
Mexico
all
is different. Like, they would make those makeshift ones because back then no te vendían.
yeah,
the canister holders.
That shit, dude.
No,
Fuck no.
you
That's
had to
insane.
make one, like
Yeah,
with rocks and like botes, or they
La
would do
botella
the
de cerveza.
chicken wire. No, for the big ones, because in
The chicken
Mexico,
wire?
they made like a chicken wire thing, and then they put rocks at the bottom, and then they just put chicken
shit.
wire, and then they would like, I don't know, do something and like,
Damn.
yeah.
Oh, no, that's trippy as fuck. I don't remember that. But that's fun though. Fireworks are fun. I don't know why they're legal. I guess.
In California, well, I guess in LA they're not legal. Someone told me they weren't. They were legal in
But
LA and Orange County, but I thought it was
Orange
California.
County. Like there's like different counties that have them because like you won't find anything in like some parts, and then like when you go across county lines, then it's like there's a fucking fireworks shop, like a little fucking rundown like piece of, like, and it's a fireworks shop. But it's like, that's how I trip out. Like, if they're illegal, then why the fuck do you have them? And it's not like you're crossing borders through fucking towns where people are searching for you. No,
Yeah.
you're fucking getting their shit. But I mean, and it's funny because this year was hilarious because they were like, don't do fireworks. Don't, if you're thinking about it, you should really not. And I think this is a year with the most fireworks I have ever heard in North County. Like on Thursday when I was at the hospital in Vista, Tri-City, I was walking out and I think I left there at maybe almost 1. I think it was like 12:30. Dude, for
In the morning?
in the morning, yeah, because I left in the nighttime, like in la noche, and I got there like around 11. Pero yeah, I left in the la madrugada, pues.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
¿me entiendes? But yeah, I was in the parking lot, and then fucking for a good 3 minutes straight, just fucking fireworks, just like just down the street from Tri-City Hospital. I'm like, damn, they're still motherfucking celebrating, like, sheesh. And you can still hear him in Esco too, so Esco's ghetto.
The ghetto.
Yeah, so yeah, because I even got a call from my neighbor the other day too. He was like, hey, the neighbor next door, my roommate, she's scared because the dogs are fucking going off and she thinks there's somebody around the house. And at that time I was at Walmart and I came back and I was like, oh, we're just coming down from Walmart. I was like, I'll check up and see if something's up. And he's like, yeah. I was like, but I was like, before I left, the dogs were going crazy at my house too, because there was like these 2 big fireworks that fucking went off and they were loud. So I was just like, it could be that. You know what I mean? Because and she was like, just check up on her because she's alone and she's, we're not there and shit. And so I get her my gun and shit. I was like, oh shit, okay, cool, fuck it.
He's like, I had to risk my life real quick.
I know, literally fucking had to risk my life. I went. I got
Everyone
here.
needs a neighbor like
Okay.
George.
I came in. I try not to make it too obvious because I had Candy on the speaker and he was telling me. And I got the bags out of the car, I got the baby out, I put him inside.
One trip.
One trip, like handling it.
All bags, one trip.
All bags, one trip. And then I grab and then Candy's like, how are you gonna go check on the neighbor? And I was like, oh yeah, I'll go check. So I walked outside, para que no digan like, ay, estás muy preocupado por la vecina, because I was like, oh shit, like, okay,
He leaves Candy in the car with the baby,
just run out there and go knock on the door. So
he's all hiding behind walls.
I was scared. It's pitch black outside. There's like no fucking
And there's
lights.
fireworks going
There's
off.
fireworks going off. So I go out there, right? And I go knock on the fucking the metal door, dude, and it's loud too, like bam, 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 and the fucking dogs start going, the fucking dogs start going off. She's like, who is it? I got a gun. And I was like, oh no, fuck. It's George from next
He's
door.
like, me too.
I was like, me too. I was like, no. I was like, it's George from next door. I was like, fucking, your roommate called me. Are you okay? And she's like, yeah. She's like, I'm coming. And she opened the door. And and I'm just like, okay, you doing good? And she's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, I was just scared because the dogs are going off. Usually I'm here by myself, but they just, you know, they started fucking going crazy, and I didn't know if there was somebody around or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I know. We heard some fireworks before we left to Walmart like about an hour ago. So we were, you know, my dogs were going crazy too. So that was probably what happened. So she's like, yeah, okay, cool. I was like, well, she's like, well, I got all the guns spread out throughout the house anyway. So, you know, I was like, fuck, all right, fuck it, you know, take care of yourself. Well, like, they're police officers. So,
Yeah.
like, you know, I think she's in training. She's going to academy. And I think, like, the other guys are both officers. So, like, you know, cool as shit. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's, you know, like, I think in life, you know, like, obviously, like, we have to play a role in our police uniform, or, like, when we're at a job, we have to act a certain way, right? We have to get that Karen voice. Hey, what's up? How you guys doing? And then, you know, and then when you're, you know, when you get to know people more deeply, you're, like, you get to know the real them. Like, oh, like, damn, they're chill as fuck, you know? Like, so
Yeah.
I talk to them all the time, you know, so they're cool as fuck. But, you know, I was just laughing. I was like, damn, that's crazy. I was like, this chick had like a fucking gun on her. What if she would have fucking got started? I was like, that was what I was thinking on like the way to go knock to her door. I was like, I can't knock too hard because I don't want to startle her and she can fucking bam, and fucking shoots it at me. Like, what the fuck? You know, like, what if that happened? So I was like, you know, kind of just like knocked on it slow and, who is it? I was like, it's George. Oh, shit. So I was like, all right, good night. You know, if anything, hit up Billy, you know, and so like I was walking away. Like, I turned around and the fucking neighbor's like right there, like the one to the right of them. And he's like, oh, I heard the whole stuff too, you know, like I came out here and checked, you know, everything looked good. And I was like, damn, bro, like
He called both of you guys?
he called both of us too. I guess he called him too, and he was like, I was over here with the flashlight. It's all good.
Oh my god, that sounds like
I was like,
that sounds dangerous all around.
all around. I was like, damn, okay.
That's
He was
like,
like, yeah, I heard the noises earlier too. You know, I just thought it was you know, the fireworks, and I was like, all right, cool, neighbor. All right, thanks for the 411. I was like, and then Candy was like, yeah, he fucking like practically as soon as you like turn into the driveway, he was already on his way out to like talk to you and shit, or like, you know, and like, pero es que son bien metiches. You know, cuando ya no tienes nada que hacer en la vida, you're retired, and you just got money, you know, you're just like creeping through the window. And I was like, damn, he was. I was like, I just turned around and he was there, and he was like, oh yeah, I heard everything. I was like, oh fuck, jeez,
I got a gun.
I was like, I got a gun. No, I didn't have only these ones. That's all I was carrying.
Damn.
So, but yeah, and I came back in, and Ken's like, everything's okay, cool. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, he says, so here's my number, just in case anything. And I was like, yeah, all right. I was like, I was like,
She said there's no need to call 911.
Kelly was like making fun of me. She's like, ¿Qué le dijiste? It's like, oh, here's my number, like just in case you need anything, call me directly. I was like, yeah, all right. I was like, I knew something like that was gonna say. I was like, why did I have that in my head? I was like, Kelly, why did I know? She was like, I was like, you would have loved to hear that. You would have fucking been follow so
You should have been like, no, but I gave her yours. Call my wife.
Call the wifey. Oh my god. But damn, that's fucking insane. But tell us a little bit about your I know you said you were in pain a couple weeks ago, and you had a little experience with
my little
with something.
episode.
What did you take? What is it? What did you say again?
I guess it was hold on.
Is it Oxy or?
Yeah, Oxys.
Because Percocet was what the future takes.
Yeah,
Percocet. It's not like Percocet.
what is it? Oxycontin.
Yeah,
I'm the worst with pills. Please excuse me, but yeah. So I had like a couple of them. I had like 4 of them, just in case my pain got really bad.
Oh, 4 of them? Like you took?
No,
them all
I
at the same
didn't
time?
take 4. I had 4 of them. Like I had 4 of them,
Yeah.
right? And so I took half of one, and I didn't feel anything. So I took a quarter more. So I had 3/4 of one.
Oh, okay.
And I just started I felt fine in like the first like hour or so, and then I think it was like around the second, third hour, I just started feeling sick. I started like feeling, I think it was a reaction, because I started feeling itchy all over my body, and like I didn't break out with hives like I have before with like other medication that I'm allergic to, but that's kind of what it felt like. I just felt really itchy. I couldn't sleep. Like I had to take a shower like at 3:00 in the morning because I just did not feel right.
That's a trip.
And then the next whole day I was like fucked up too. Just like, you know, had like, what would it be, like Malias or something, from just not being able to sleep. I think by the time I went to bed, it was like the sun was coming up.
Yeah.
So the next day I felt like shit.
So it was like an upper. Do you think it was like an upper like type of thing? Like I don't know. Like I've never really.
No, it's a downer for sure.
Oh yeah, because it's like
because
oxycodone.
It's
like
for
with,
pain.
is it laced with like heroin or what is it?
It's like morphine.
Morphine and okay.
But I'm not allergic to morphine, which I don't know. I don't know if it was just like a bad pill or maybe because I had it too long. I don't know. I don't know what it could have been. But yeah, I was pretty fucked up for that day. I'm trying to think what day it was. I don't know, but I ended up having to go get a massage and do like the cupping and stuff because I just felt like shit and like I just needed to do something to my body. My body was tense. Everything hurt. Like I couldn't function. Everything was just in pain. And so she did the cupping on me. And my cupping has never been that purple, so I just had a lot of inflammation.
What's cupping? What is that?
When they do the cups with the fire.
Oh, okay.
And it like sucks up all the air pretty much in your body.
So that it takes out like what, like all the impurities and like minerals.
So it detox. It's like a detox, but like what I feel like it does to me, like well, obviously it sucks all the air out. Like when I was little, in Malpasaba, so I would skip meals and I would just eat like a lot once a day. When I was like little, like I was a really bad eater. And my grandma a veces me daban unos dolores that I would cry and cry because I had air in my stomach. And so she would put one of those ventosas, that's what they're called in Spanish, and it would just suck up all the air from my stomach and I would feel fine like immediately after. And it's just pretty much obviously I'm not what is it called? A specialist, but it pretty much would help the tension in my body. So what they do is they massage you first, and then they do the cupping. So you know the thing that Candy does, kind of her
for the glutes.
The glutes. It's for your body, and it releases all the stress from.
Damn, that's pretty
from your body. And I'm telling you, I just had really dark spots, and I hadn't had spots like that at any time.
So how many times do they, or like how many cups do they put at one time, or is it just?
She put them all over my body, so I had probably like easily 20 cups on me.
And this is an hour session or 2 hour?
An hour and a half.
Really?
Yeah, an hour and a half.
Wow.
Session. So she massaged. It was like a full body massage. And I'm having problems with my jaw too. I don't know if my wisdom teeth are coming in, but I've had like really clenched jaws. And I think it was a mixture because after I talked to my chiropractor, he said, yeah, it was probably just like everything, like the tension in your jaw, stress. It could be, he said, subconsciously I'm stressing myself out. And that was like the whole month that I stopped smoking weed. So smoking weed is like a stress reliever. I like wind down when I smoke weed. So it had been like a whole month, and then I kind of started working out. So like I was putting my body in
different stress modes.
Yeah, and I think like me at night not trying to clench my jaw would make me clench my jaw, because I would make sure that I was like sleeping a certain way, and trying not to affect my jaw like that. I would always try to relax it, but in the morning I'd wake up and it was just like tension. And when you have tension in your face, like that shit, it's all connected.
It all shows.
It's like he was telling me that he was working on this spot right here. It hurts so bad. My chiropractor was putting his fingers in it and just like releasing the pressure from the something that's the muscle or something, nerve that's connected to my vertical spine or whatever. Maybe. I don't know.
Your spine.
But yeah, my spine. So he was like putting his fingers in here. It hurts so bad. Dang. I almost wanted to tell him to stop, but I was like, yeah, like this hurts. And he was just like, yep, it's gonna hurt. I was like, okay, Fuck,
Damn.
I'm gonna get my foot tattooed in a couple weeks.
So how did you like? You felt good after
I
that?
should be
Like,
fine. Yeah, honestly, every time I leave the chiropractor, I feel good and I felt fine. I'm probably due for a session now. This was last Thursday.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I probably should be going.
Where are you going
again
to now?
soon.
I know you guys aren't going to the same one. Like, right? Did that lady take a vacation and never came back?
No, but V actually saw her last week and she overbooks herself. So
Oh.
we like to sit down with her, talk to her. And
Yeah. And get the vibe going.
Yeah,
huh?
and like for me, I would drive all the way to Carlsbad to see her. So I mean, now I just go where I go see my chiropractor and this stuff.
Okay.
But I still drive like 25 minutes to see my people. But they understand me. They like speak my language, you know,
That's good.
and
That's
they
cool.
know like pretty much my history and stuff. So it's easier to talk to them. But yeah, I definitely recommend always. That's
cool. I think I'm super overdue for a freaking chiropractor because, yeah, there's just a lot of things. Even that suction cup thing, like you're talking about, like that's something new that I've seen, and it reminds me of hickeys and shit. And I remember like, my mom always used to be like, "No dejes que te hagas esas pendejadas because your fucking blood is getting coagulated or whatever. It's just getting fucking. It's not good for you or whatever."
if they don't massage it beforehand.
Oh, for reals?
Yeah.
So you got to know who the fuck you're going with then too,
You have to massage them first.
So you massage the tissue?
I remember Candy told me about that, and then I put 2 and 2 when they did my cupping. Obviously, I got a massage before, and al último te ponen the cups.
Oh, that's cool. So you get a massage. Oh, I thought you just fucking get in there, lay down, and they just. And is there like for certain pains? Like, do you like? I mean, you said that you did your whole body, but
I just did. I think it was like 150 the one that I did.
Okay.
150.
That's not bad. That's pretty.
But
cool.
Honestly, it was worth it. Because I was doing really bad, and it was just like sudden.
Dang.
Yeah, and then I think like V the following week messed herself up because they were riding skateboards.
Oh yeah.
And she didn't hurt herself. She just I think like overdid it.
Oh yeah, she said she was sore that day. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so we're out here acting like we're young, fresh out of high school. We can do it all. But no, when they said like you get old quick, like you really do be getting old quick. And it's crazy that, you know, we can't just get up and do what we used to love to do when we were kids. Like it was nothing. Like you would fall and be fine later or the next day.
That's one of the things that I trip out too, because I like to ride my skateboard. I like to ride bikes. You know, but I'm also like scared, like also like, you know, like when you fall nowadays, like, and then another thing is that you have to know how to fall too. Like that's one of the things that my mom and like my parents always like, you know, like let's just wait también, you know, like mete las manos or like, you know, like or there's certain ways to fall too, use your shoulders and shit like that. But it just depends too, because like I've seen people get their shoulders dislocated. I've seen, you know, just by horse playing and shit, and I've seen like me, like I landed on my pinky when I jumped off of the swing at Rock Springs Elementary. I did a backflip and I saw this other kid do it. And so I was like, I can do that. And I fucking like did a backflip and then I landed on my hand and like somehow my pinky was out. And like my pinky like ended up like over here on this side like that. Like, so like this pinky's like all trickle. You see how it is?
Oh yeah.
So, but it was like right here. And I went up to the teacher, you know, like it wasn't bleeding or anything like that.
It was just dislocated.
But I was like, what the fuck? Like, oh shit. So I went over to like the security ladies, you know, like they used to have like right there in elementary. And I was like, hey, I don't think this is right. And she's like, what you do? And I was like, I flipped off the swing and I fell on it. She's like, go run it under some water. And I was like, I think I need to go see the nurse. And then she was like, yeah, okay, go to the nurse. She was like, go run
ice on it.
No, she was like, run it under some water. Like, what the, like, said I coger para atrás and just gonna go back in. And it was funny because I was like, what the hell? You told me that shit. But yeah, and I ended up getting like a little cast and shit. But that was a trip. I was like, I couldn't believe I dislocated my finger like that. But now, like, and then plus now you got to think about like, if you miss work, you know, like if it's an injury outside of work, you know, like if you're not, you know, like who the fuck is going to take care of you, you know? So it's just like shit like that. That is, you don't have mommy and daddy. Like before they run you through the hospital and mommy and daddy would take care of the bill. Now it's on us and stuff. And if you don't have the proper help, then you're going to be spending a lot of moolah.
Yeah.
So this weekend I felt like a kid too. So, you know, kind of back to the high school days or after high school, because there was a lot of clubs. So
Oh yeah.
so I mean, but
Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna be at a club again, but I will share it with
definitely,
you guys.
dude, definitely, like it's fucking like lit. It's pretty cool.
Are
I mean,
people coming back with revenge or what?
yeah, I
Like,
think so. I feel like it is, dude. Like it was
I feel
hot.
like everyone's out
It's
right
hot
now.
as fuck in there on Saturday at Coyotes. Like Friday was cool because it was in Bonita. It was at La Luz, and shout out to the homie for hooking me up with that gig, DJ Naughty. But yeah, like that place wasn't that packed. Like it was like super chill night. Like they were like, oh, it's not that. Like it's usually not like this.
Mhm.
But it was the beginning of the month. Always clubs take a toll at the
Mhm.
beginning and at the end of the month. So that's kind of like the whole thing about it. But you know, it was still fun because I played a lot of music that I haven't played in a long time, like a lot of regional, a lot of norteños, like some cumbias and like some reggaeton too, like towards the end. But it definitely like kept me on my toes on like the genre that I kind of play a lot at quinceañeras and bodas and like more Spanish parties, and kind of just throw it into like the whole club setting and throw in those like extra.
Oh, because they love it.
Yeah, because I throw in like those extra ones that like have a little more oomph than you in the remixes of songs. But Saturday at Coyotes, it was just fucking hot. Like Saturday as it is, it was a hot ass fucking day. So inside that, it's a little. I mean, it's a bar. It's like but they just don't have any windows, and then like I really doubt club owners. Bar owners, turn on your fucking AC, assholes. Like it, but it's all a game. You know, you have to make them sweat, so they buy drinks. You know, they're buying water, they're buying soda, they're buying more beers. So I mean, it's part of like the whole shebang bang. And plus, there's like so many bodies in the same fucking place and grinding and dancing and it gets nasty up in there. So yeah, and it's a trip because I took those little rings, the little light rings and shit, and I was chucking them at the crowd and shit. So I took like a nice handful of rings and shit, and I was just like I'll just be DJing and shit, and one of the things like I mean I love about the atmosphere that I bring, and like I know that I'm ready, I'm fucking there to party, I'm there to fucking take care of the crowd, make this fucking crowd like not stop. You know what I mean? Like that's my fucking goal. Like if I see everybody fucking dancing, everybody having a good time, like I'm fucking lit and I'm livid. So, and I was just like watching, and I would like turn on the little light, and then like, I would just be like kind of just like looking into the crowd, and like, and somebody made eye contact with me, like they'd be like, and like they would put their hands up, and I just fucking chuck it at them, and they're like, oh, and then, so I was just doing that shit, and by the end of the night, I had like maybe like 10 rings and shit that I took with me, and you see like different people in the crowd just fucking, with rings on and shit, and like I would get sometimes they would chuck them back to me and shit like throughout the night and shit, and then I would just throw them back out to the floor, but it was funny because there was this one like lesbian couple that was in front of me, right? And this is the thing about like the DJ world, like I mean I'm pretty sure every DJ knows this shit. Everybody, like the DJ in front of the DJ, everybody comes and dances. Like I don't know what it is about it, but I feel like especially at Coyotes, like there's a whole different like vibe sometimes. Like I've caught girls like just like straight staring at me, and they're like grinding on their guy, like literally just fucking grinding, and like these chicks are just like just vibing with it, and then they're just like and like fucking I'm like, what the hell? Okay, so I just kind of just like keep to myself, and like I'm doing my DJ and shit, and their man like goes, se va y les va a comprar un drink, so they'll like dip out and they get a little bit closer to DJ, and then like they'll pull out their phone and they'll request a song and shit, you know what I mean? Like that's like the new thing, like they'll like look up on their Spotify and shit, and then they'll just show it to me because obviously it's fucking loud. And so yeah, there was this lesbian couple that was in front of me, and you can tell like like which is like la que está más hombrada, like the one that's a man, and then like the one that's like all pretty girl and stuff like that.
The femme.
Yeah, the femme. And I was just like, and they were dancing, right? And she came up to me and she was like, but she was by herself, and she came up to me. She was like, hey, can I get some The Weeknd? Or was it The Weeknd? Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I will in a little bit, And like a couple songs later, like ya no estaba ahí ella, but she came back. Like when I played on the Weeknd song, you can see her. She ran inside through the fucking like you know, I saw her. She ran in, you know, she ran in
Yeah.
and she got like right next, you know, she was dancing and shit, and she was like hella hyped, you know, like hella hyped. Like sometimes I trip out because I'm like, damn, I'm causing this shit. Like yeah, like that's fucking sick, you know, like whether
all you had to do is press play.
I had to do is play. I had to play the right song, motherfuckers. But you know, but it's a trance though. It's a trance that I see people get in. You know, like they're fucking hit after hit song. They're like, hell yeah, fucking vibing. Oh my god, they playing this one. Oh fucking, just so they're going off, right? And her girl did not like that. Like her girl came back, and she was like mean mugging me. She was like mean mugging me, and she was like, there was other friends with them, so like you can tell the friends are like, hey, what, you know, and she was like right there dancing, and she was like right in front of me, and she was like, you know, like, like, oh my god, you play this song, no, no, no. And like girl se la llevó, la agarró, like practically like pulled her out of there and fucking took her. I was like, damn, like what the fuck's going on? I was like, holy shit. I was like, I'm not doing anything. I didn't do anything. I was like, oh shit.
You just press play.
I just pressed play. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, keep your girls in check. Especially in front of the DJ booth. I don't know. See, that's crazy because, you know, I had a fucking like a row of güeras that were like right there, and they're just like with their ass just fucking hitting my table. And I'm like, hey, girl, like you guys gotta fucking back the fuck up. Like y'all, like my shit's moving, like my laptop's moving, like I have a drink on the side. I'm like, well, dude, okay, like I understand you guys want to dance, like whatever. And also, you know, like they'll grab the table and shit, and they're like back it up and shit, like, you know. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like you guys gotta like, I mean, obviously,
Grab
like,
a wall or something.
yeah, grab a wall or something, but. But yeah, like
but
I
know
was
what you
tripping
mean.
out. Like
I've seen that before.
I was tripped out, you know, like I mean, and it's stuff that I noticed like within maybe just recently. Maybe I just didn't pay attention to it before, or I just like maybe it's just because of the club atmosphere too.
Yeah.
Like in
Or
other
because
clubs,
you haven't really DJ'd so much
yeah,
at clubs recently.
yeah, and then like or other clubs you're more higher, so the
Yeah.
girls are like they're not really paying attention to you.
Yeah.
But like for me, like I get, you know, into this trance of like me playing music and me like fucking like, you know, like I'm fucking going through my computer looking for the next good song, like which one's the good remix, like da 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 da. So like I'm hyped, dude. So like as soon as like I fucking drop another song, boom, like, and I see the reaction, I'm like, fuck yeah, you know. So I'm fucking like, damn, like, you know, like I'm
feeling it.
I'm feeling it. Like I'm feeling myself. Like I don't know what you guys doing over there, whatever it is that's the crowd doing. Like I'm fucking feeling it, and I'm there. Like, you know what I mean. I'm having just as much fun as like everybody else dancing. Like, if not even more, because I'm just like, hell yeah. And then on Coyotes, they have a TV screen, so I connect my music videos and shit. So I play music videos. So it's even,
yeah.
you know, like, so
it's more of a vibe.
they come more closer to the DJ because they're like, also, they want to stare at the fucking music video while they dance, you know? So they're just fucking like, you know, dancing. They're like, oh shit, brought me thick or whatever. It's fucking, you know, back that ass up and shit. So, but yeah, man, that shit was fucking hilarious. I just thought, like, you know, like, I'm not gonna take your girl. Relax. I was like,
that's not what you're there to do.
I was like, relax. But I mean, I was just saying, like, it's just kind of weird. Like, is it porque like están tomando y ya se les bota, or you know what I mean? Like,
people are just,
you know, so it's just
nymphos.
like, and I was just like, you know, and it's happened to me before where it's just like I said, it's like a man dancing with this girl. Like, I remember one time, like the girl was like with her man. The man's talking to his homeboys, like to his homies, like right there. You know, you can see like he's kind of like not really paying attention to her. She's kind of just like dry humping her from the back, you know, just chilling and shit. And this chick's just like fucking looking like I'm just like, bitch, your man's right there. Don't be looking at me, because then I don't want any problems. Like I don't want any problems either. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm there to DJ and shit. Like, I mean, it comes down to that. You know, like I don't want to be fucking. I mean, the security's gonna fuck you up. The security guard. Actually, we were talking about this earlier, and that's what I'm saying. This, I think, it's a calling, because there's 3 people that have talked to me about the fights that are coming up on the 24th, which is the one that you got hit up to see if we can do like an interview with these guys. And the security guard, he's gonna fight this next week. So not this weekend, it's the 17th, it's the 24th. So he's going to fight in Valley Center. And the security guard's he's un negrito flaquito, pero está pinche, like, he's cut. Mm-hmm. And he was taking out these 2 guys. Like, he was taking out this guy from fucking inside the bar. So, like, he was coming from, like, the bathroom, and he, like, took him across the dance floor, and he, like, struggling and shit. And that fool was like, ah. And they're, like, pushing him. and shit. And like I saw like when they were going outside, like they tripped on each other, and that fool fell right on top of him. Like, oh, that fool's fucking cat, man. And he fucking put him like in like not in a headlock, but just fucking grabbed them and shit. And I was like, damn, fool, like, because it was already like 1:30 and shit. The lights turned on, and I was packing up my shit, and I saw him walk by. I was like, damn, bro, you fucking got that motherfucker out of here. He was like, hell yeah, fuck these motherfuckers. They think they can fuck with me. He's like, I'm an MMA fighter. Like, I'm not, like, I know how to take motherfuckers out. Like, this is shit, you know, this is my job and shit. And I was like, damn. I was like, what? I was like, where do you fight? And she was like, oh, I used to do the California Cage Wars. I'm going to be fighting in Valley Center on the 20th. I was like, oh, what? I was like, he's like, yeah, man, I remember you. And I was like, what? He's like, I used to DJ and shit. And I was like, oh, no. I was like, fuck. He's like, yeah, you fucking DJ'd a couple times to my walkout songs and shit. That was last year. Or 2 years ago, because now it's since last year that COVID happened. And that sucks too, because the homie, that's the reason why the homie left, you know, like, and stopped doing the fights here, because they weren't having it here. Like the last one that we were supposed to do was going to be a big one at Harris Casino. And that was back in February, maybe of last year. So that's when, like, right before the pandemic hit, like everything was like closing, non-closing. So they canceled on that shit. But I used to do fights for them like at least 6 times a year, because they do every other month or every month. So I was just like, damn, but that's cool that because that's like the third person that has brought up that event and that thing. So it's like kind of like a sign. Like I told you last time I was walking out of Costco, and the homie Brian, and I know Brian since for a good time, because he used to come into the Grusas too, and he used to know all the owners right there too, and we used to always go to the fights together. And you know, he's a tall motherfucker, so you know, and I was wearing it's funny because I wear my DJ Nasty shirt. He's like, DJ Nasty, you shouldn't be out there DJing and oh no, he said, what did he say to us? He said, like, shouldn't you be playing some music right now? And I was like, you're like, bro, I don't take like speakers and turntables everywhere, bro. But he was like, yeah, you're gonna be at the fights. And I was like, oh, I heard about him. He's like, yeah, you should contact the homie and see if you can get you into DJ there and shit, you know. And I was like, yeah, that is true, you know. And I kind of just took it lightly, and I've seen that guy on my Facebook, and I'm just like, okay, maybe. But the thing is that they moved them to Saturdays. So I used to do Sundays. So Sundays was able, because, you know, we don't, you know, I don't DJ on Sundays usually, but, you know, my weddings and stuff and birthday parties are kind of going off on Saturdays. So I'm just like, fuck. But maybe I might get in contact with him and, you know, and see if we can work some stuff out. But you know, you don't take things for granted until you're like not doing them anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
I mean, yes, it's good to reminisce.
Yeah, it's a trip, because like, I mean, like so much shit that we used to be doing over there, and like, you know, it's just a whole day event. You get there, you know, you bring out all these fighters, and you know, you play their song, and you feel bad because like if you don't have their song, like, you know, like then you gotta put another song, and if they lose or you play the wrong song and they lose, like, oh shit,
like it was your
fault. Know? So yeah, so I mean, there's a couple times when you're like, and I was like, oh fuck, I think I played the wrong one, and then they're like, the fighter's not coming out, and this one, and I was like, oh fuck. Oh, hold on. Look for the song and shit, and then they're like, oh, okay, now he comes out. So then the fucking fighter will walk out and shit. But I mean, it's just part of the game, you know. Like sometimes if they don't submit their songs in, like, I mean, we don't have a song for them, so they can't come out.
As long as you don't play like, hey Mickey, you so fine, you so fine.
What was like? I mean, like the craziest ones were like Vicente. Like we played some Vicente. Maybe some. Which one was like the weirdest one that I played? Maybe I don't remember, but. I mean, some good fights. Those guys tear down. So, I mean, maybe we'll give them a call and we'll see what's up. Maybe we can have some MMA action coming in here, and have them like tell us a little bit about what the hell they do, man, and what goes on through their head when they're getting punched. Because I don't remember when I remember that I was getting punched. Like I didn't like that shit.
I didn't feel anything when I did fight. Adrenaline rush. That's what I felt. All right, guys, that was another episode of System in Place. Missing V, but thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
For sure.
Later.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys very much. Thank you guys for listening to us. Make sure you guys follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes.
Leave a review.
If you guys want to come and check me out,
Rate
I will
us.
be at Coyotes the last Saturday of this month also. So that's the 31st, I believe so.
And that's in Carlsbad,
California.
Let's check.
That's my last. Quick. That's my last gig of this month for Coyotes.
Yeah, Saturday.
So yeah, you guys come and check me out if you guys want to come and have some fun, and you know, and you know, if I'm wrong about that, like the whole staring thing with DJ, but you know, if you guys,
You know
if you
what?
guys want to put some input on that one,
I
like
might
other
have
DJs,
to come and see.
if other DJs want to like be like, hey, that does happen to me too. If that happens to you too, write to me.
We need to do
your
a poll.
experience. We need to do a poll and shit. So, you know, but I think all artists get that though. You know what I mean? So I sometimes I try to humble myself.
Controlling the room or
Yeah, right.
or performing, I feel like.
So you definitely have the people's vibe, but it's all in good. It's all in good faith, guys. We love you guys, and thank
Thanks
you
for
guys.
listening.
Check us out.
Bye.
Peace.